We're really lucky to have so many great European cities right on our doorstep, just waiting to be rediscovered.
I don't know anywhere else you can get this many different sounds, colours and, of course, smells. Look at that.
And a weekend escape is a brilliant and easy way to explore them.
I am loving this. Feast your eyes on Venice.
So I'm going to have loads of amazing food.
Go on, baby. Sizzle. Sizzle! I may have found the best food in Amsterdam.
See some amazing sights.
Colosseum!
This is the famous Checkpoint Charlie.
Wow. This is stunning.
And check out the culture of each city.
You are the bravest people in Europe, and maybe the craziest.
Guys, I'm inside the fountain. I'm part of the Trevi Fountain.
So I'll be packing lots
Come and have a look at this.
into my 3-day trips.
Oh, wow. We're up on the roof. There is beer, there is wine, there is sunshine music, and there are lots and lots of smiles.
Showing you how to get the most out of a weekend getaway.
I feel like Audrey Hepburn.
Just a 2-hour flight from the UK is probably the most opulent city in Europe. Venice's iconic canals, world-famous sights, and of course fantastic Italian food make this a mecca for weekend breaks. A short train ride from the airport and I'm straight into the heart of the city early on my first day.
That's it, I'm here. This is Venice, without doubt one of the most spectacular cities in the world. I mean, you've got the Piazza San Marco, the Rialto Bridge, the Grand Canal. I mean, breathtaking sights everywhere. However, Venice also has a reputation for being eye-wateringly expensive. And I know this to be true myself, but only if you eat and drink in the tourist hotspots. This weekend, I'm going to attempt to do Venice in an affordable way. And I also want to get behind the ornate facades. I'm hoping to see the Venice of the Venetians.
You can break the bank here, as Venice has some of the most luxurious hotels on the planet, and you pay extra for a canal view. But there are some ways of bringing the bill down while still getting a slice of La Dolce Vita.
Nice. Very nice. However, there is no reason to spend a lot of money on a room with a view. What you need to do is dump your bag and head for the roof. So this is why I didn't bother getting a room with a view. I mean, who needs to spend a lot of money on a room when the hotel has got a terrace like this? There you go. Feast your eyes on Venice. See that over there? That is the entrance to the famous Grand Canal that flows through the middle of this island city. And it's there that all the grand palaces were built between the 13th and the 18th century. You had to be seriously rich to live here. There are another 150 canals which break this city down into even smaller islands, and they're connected by 400 bridges. Well, there is no way in a 3-day trip that I'm going to see all of them, but I am going to give it a really good go. But the first thing I've got to do, and I'm going to have to work hard on this, is actually tearing myself away from here. Because I could actually spend the whole weekend here just watching Venice go by.
Now, as you might know, I love something sweet, so it only seems fair to start my holiday the right way.
Grazie. I mean, Venice is beautiful, but wherever you are in Italy, you've got to start with the gelato, right? Oh, good. That is lovely.
And it gives me the perfect opportunity to indulge in something you can definitely get for nothing.
I think the best thing about Venice are the views. I mean, it's beautiful everywhere you turn, and of course they're free. It doesn't cost anything to look at the views. But have you ever wondered why there's a city here on these islands in the middle of the Adriatic? Well, it's the end of the Roman Empire. When you've got Germanic tribes running all over the Italian peninsula, the people from the north of Italy, they came here to these islands for protection. Then they decided they wanted to stay here and they had to make it more habitable. So they got tree trunks and they piled those into the muddy ground. Then they built platforms across them and then their buildings on top of that. And then so they could move around easily, they dug canals. Well, the canals are still here. There's still people here. There's not barbaric hordes anymore. Well, unless you count us, the tourists.
There are 26 miles of waterway in Venice, all in a city less than a third the size of London. And of course, there are the famous gondolas. However, at €80 for 30 minutes, gondolas are pricey. So I've come to the quiet Cannaregio neighbourhood to get a different look at the canals for less than half the price.
Mattia?
Hi, Greg. Yes.
Good to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
So we are going to do a kayak tour of the backstreet canals.
Yes, of course.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, so life jacket. That's for you. Okay. Fits you perfect. Okay.
Yes! Come on, kayak king. Let's go.
Once Mattia has joined me, we're ready to go water level sightseeing.
Okay, let's go this way.
So, what's it like constantly living on the water or next to the water?
Oh, it's really nice. We feel very lucky because we have the water every time close by us. That you know that here in Venice, we do not have a traffic light. So in order to know if the street is free or not, before turning the corner, we say, "Oi, oi!"
Oi, oi!
Exactly. And if nobody answers, that means that it's free, and so we can go.
Oi, oi! Does everybody have a boat?
Almost everybody. That one is what I call the teenager boat. It's the boat that your parents give you usually when you turn 18.
Does everything here come by boat? Let's say you buy a new refrigerator. Does it
Yeah.
come by boat?
Yeah, you needed to call a boat like that one that bring you the stuff in front of your house.
The police are in boats. If you want to go to the hospital, the ambulance is a boat.
We have everything by boat. Even the trash collector are by boat. Here we have everything completely different.
Venice's population has changed dramatically in the last century as tourism has grown. During the 1950s, it peaked at 175,000, but nowadays there's less than 1/3 of that. And this is the perfect way to see how the locals live.
What is that?
It's probably a clothes because see in Venice we used to dry the clothes outside the window
Someone's
with the
dropped their laundry in the...
Hey,
It's you.
sì, certo, nessun problema.
So what do? You pick it up and she has to come and get it?
Yeah, sure.
We got your jumper.
This is a thing that happened.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. She might drop a nice jacket.
Yeah, this was nice.
Is that a regular thing?
This happened when you dry the stuff outside. It happened at some time. So luckily this time there was us to pick that up. Or, anyway, you have to wait maybe a boat to pick that up, or you just leave it there to the fish. I'm getting a little bit hungry. Do you mind to take something to eat?
I would love something to eat.
Okay, let's do. Oi, oi!
Hey, hey! Hey! We're going there.
Yes, definitely.
How do I get out of the boat?
We're Venetian now, so we can eat directly from the boat. Really, super in Venice, we do this all the time.
Okay.
Go to a bar, we take something to eat, and we stay there. Thank you so much. Greg,
Hey!
little snack.
What is this?
This is bacala mantecato,
Short cod.
and this is made at the Venetian way.
It's not fishy, and it's quite creamy. It's lovely.
Thanks.
That's what you need after a tough day on the canals,
Exactly.
kayaking. It was great, this. Thank you very much. It's really lovely to see the city like a Venetian.
You're welcome, Greg. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Should we get another one?
Coming up, I enjoy a night out done the Venetian way
I'm loving this. Yay!
and get stuck in to an iconic dish.
Oh, my word. It's absolutely, as they say, melting in the mouth.
I'm on a long weekend in one of the world's top tourist destinations, Venice. While this place sees up to 30 million visitors a year, at night many of them head for cruise ships or hotels on the mainland, making it the perfect time for a wander.
Obviously, Venice is famous for its canals, but it's also got lots of little windy streets. In fact, it's quite easy to get lost. But it doesn't matter, I don't think, because you're never that far away from another bridge or another square or a bar or a cafe. Oh, yeah, dead end. Come on, it's a canal.
At dinner time, it's easy to get lured in by the bright lights of restaurants on the main thoroughfares. But I want to try something more authentic, so I'm meeting up with some locals who do foodie tours right across the city.
Hey, buonasera. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, I'm Greg.
I'm Loris.
I'm
Loris.
Giada.
Giada and Loris. And you're going to teach me how to eat like
Venetian
the Venetian
lifestyle.
Yes,
Yes.
the Venetian way.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. There are many, many restaurants in Venice, but I don't imagine the Venetian people eat in the restaurants every day, right?
Well, not every day, but we do a lot of this actually. So Baccaro tour we call it. It's basically the Venetian pub crawl. And what we do is that we grab a little glass of wine called Ombra and we get a cicchetto. The cicchetto is the typical Venetian finger food. It can be a meatball like the one that you're going to try.
And what is it like tapas?
Don't call them tapas. Oh, we call food police. Be careful.
But is it like tapas?
Similar concept.
Yeah, it's a similar concept.
Right. I understand the concept of little food,
Yes.
little bites. Good idea. Why are we having a little glass?
Extremely typical. This is called ombra, which is shadow, shade in Italian. So this was sold in St. Mark's Square, actually. Around the bell tower of St. Mark in the past, during the Venetian Republic, there were wine shops. And the wine shops, they were following the shade of the bell tower to keep the wine cool. So the Venetians created the expression, let's take a shade.
That's a very nice idea. Cheers.
Chin chin. Chin chin.
Salute.
Chin chin and salute and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's nice. That's almost sweet.
And now you have to try the food.
And this
of
is a
course.
famous meatball.
Yes. Beef and potatoes, but the recipe is secret, so
A
they
bit
won't
of
tell you.
mortadella.
They won't tell you. A bit of mortadella as well.
Crunchy on the outside, really soft in the middle. It looks like it might be mincemeat, but it's not. It's softer than that.
A bit of garlic.
A lot of garlic. More than a shade of garlic.
Traditionally, cicchetti is eaten standing up as you eat and move on. And that's exactly how tonight is going, as we're already on our way to the second bar of the evening near the Rialto Bridge.
So this is great. We are not only having little glasses and things to eat in different places, we're walking around the city. Because if we were having dinner in a restaurant, we'd be in one place.
Exactly. It's a great way to explore all the district of Venice.
This bar is known for putting a modern twist on traditional cicchetti favourites.
Giada! Wow! Giada, my new best foodie friend. What is that?
That is a bottom of artichoke, also typical food of Venice. Inside it's a matriciana of shrimps. You have a spicy sauce inside of tomato and cheese with the shrimps.
I thought that was some sort of unusual pastry, but that's an artichoke. And I love artichoke, so let's... Oh, that's good. That is rich with tomato. You're getting the chew of some seafood, and it's held in an artichoke heart, which is absolutely lovely. It's probably one of the meatiest vegetables you can get. Now, that one I love. This is a great way to see the city. I am loving this. Yay! I want to eat some more. I fancy another drink, but we're not going to do it here, right?
No.
I'm learning.
You learn.
Come
yeah.
on, take me to the next one.
Let's go.
That's right.
Straight ahead.
Good man, I'm loving this. Loving this.
These bars, or Baccari, were originally created for locals to stop by on their way home from work for a bite to eat and a drink, and were found on almost every back street. Just round the corner is our final stop.
This is another one, right?
This is the place.
Listen, you go and get some drinks.
Exactly.
I'll find a place for us to stand, okay?
Perfect. Yes, let's do it. Okay.
Hey, ooh.
And here we are with more cicchetti.
Wow, they look good. Hang on a minute. They're not small drinks. That's not a shade.
Not this time.
That's a total eclipse. Right, okay, what is that?
That is the most famous Venetian cocktail. That's the spritz.
3 different ones.
You said you like artichokes. This is an artichoke spritz.
All right, I'll have the
You'll
artichoke.
go with that one, yeah.
I'll have the artichoke.
We knew
Well,
that.
Listen, a lot of people where I live don't even eat artichokes, let alone drink them.
They use the leaves in alcohol infusion with other herbs to create this liquor.
It's got to feel like licorice. What is this one? This is cheese and walnuts.
A gorgonzola with mascarpone cheese, walnut, a bit of jam, and almond over there.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Creamy mascarpone and the sweetness of a little bit of jam. That works. That works. This is a great way of seeing the city and eating and drinking proper Venetian food without spending lots of money.
It is.
But if
yeah.
I hadn't have met you, how would I know where to look for these?
First of all, avoid the main streets, of course.
Yeah.
So start going to the streets where nobody goes. And you will end up in a place like this.
And of course, usually you see a lot of Venetian outside. So if you see all Venetian lining waiting for her to the drinks and cicchetti, you know it's a good place.
Do you know what? You've introduced a whole new world of food and drink to me.
Of course.
And it's fantastic.
Cheers.
Chin.
Chin chin.
Salute.
Cheers. Salute.
Packing as much as possible into a weekend means that Saturday calls for an early alarm. And to start the day the proper way, I've headed round the corner to an affordable pasticceria to join the locals.
Can I have some bignè? And zaletti?
Zaletti?
And un tazza caffè americano, per favore.
Okay.
In Italy, breakfast is a cup of coffee and something sweet, but every single city or region in Italy has its own sweet things, its own sweet specialities. Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa! Now that's breakfast, right? Look, actually these beignets, they are not Italian at all. They are Austrian, because the Austrians occupied Venice at the end of the Napoleonic Wars. I mean, the Austrians are now gone, but they left their cakes behind, which I think is very, very civil of them. Now, if you like chocolate like I do, that is divine. And it's not too sweet. That choux pastry is so light, it just dissolves. And you've got crispy chocolate on the top and soft chocolate in the middle. OK, it is a very sweet and very indulgent breakfast, but I'm on holiday.
With no roads, you have to be up for walking in Venice. But fortunately, there's a view around every corner. My first stop is a 15-minute wander across to Rialto Market. Famed for its fresh produce, it can be busy in the mornings, so I'm donning my visor.
This market has been here since the 11th century. This makes it a 1,000-year-old fresh food market. And tourists take pictures here. I mean, it's beautiful colours, but this is actually a fresh produce market where the Venetians do their shopping. It smells great, it looks great. We all want to learn about the food, don't we? Traditional food where we're in places. I'm going to meet up with a local chef called Michele. I want to learn some more. Chef,
Michele offers visitors the chance to shop and cook like a local.
what a beautiful market.
Have you see? It's beautiful.
Absolutely stunning.
In Venice, you have fantastic fish. Look, what a variety.
Do you think the people of Venice eat more fish than the rest of Italy? Because it's
Absolutely, yes. We eat fish 4-5 times per week.
We're buying wild sea bass for an iconic Venetian dish.
Grazie.
Hey, perfect.
Michele has offered to show me how to cook it back at his home.
Where do you live?
Over the Grand Canal.
The other side?
Yes, of course. On the other side, we must take the gondola.
Hang on. Isn't it really, really expensive to ride?
No. €2 for tourists and 70 cents for Venetian.
So for €2, I can actually do a gondola
Only
ride?
for 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it's still a gondola ride,
Yes,
right?
it's always still a gondola.
But this is just great. This is a bus service.
Yes.
Gondoliers give a day a week to this public service dotted around the city called the traghetto.
Grazie mille. Ciao ragazzi.
After hopping off, it's a short walk to Michele's spot in Castello, a real locals neighbourhood.
What an amazing place to live.
Yes, it's so quiet here. It's a great part of Venice. So, Greg, welcome in my home.
Wow. The ceilings are so high.
This is the kitchen.
Very nice. This is the kitchen of a chef. So what are you going to do with that beautiful fish?
A typical Venetian recipes. Sea bass in salt crust. And there is one of the most representative dish of Venice
Why pack it with salt? Why not just put it in the oven?
because the oven is more than 200 degrees. Under the salt become very hard, preserve and make the cooking is slowly and delicate and cook in its juice. You don't need to add oil or butter, nothing.
Michele starts by beating some egg whites, while I mix some table salt with coarse salt. Then it's time to combine the two.
Why not use the whole egg? Why just the egg white?
Because you have a crust pink,
That's okay.
if you want, but I prefer white.
What does the fish think? Yeah,
He prefer white.
He prefer white, yeah. How did you know? He was only talking to me.
It's Venetian fish.
After laying the sea bass on a bed of salt, Michele adds to the belly basil, thyme and lemon before covering it with the salt mix and putting it straight into the oven.
195, 200 for 25-30 minutes.
Venice has been selling salt from their shores since the start of the city back in the 6th century. Eventually, they had a monopoly on its sale throughout the Mediterranean. So this dish is more than just a local favourite, it's a celebration of Venetian history.
That is fabulous.
Look, this is the sound. It's like a stone.
It's like a rock.
Now, for open, you need a knife like this, and so. And now it's ready to open, like this.
Michele is serving the fish with some very simply steamed carrots, courgettes and potatoes.
Last touch, a good extra virgin olive oil. Stop.
Oh, my friend. Oh, my word. Let me tell you, that flesh is so soft, you don't even need to chew it. It's absolutely, as they say, melting in the mouth. That is the way to cook the fish. What have you got there?
A great bottle of Prosecco. You know, Prosecco is the wine of Venice. The production is in Treviso.
So, Treviso is just up the road from Venice. Come on, open it up.
We open.
How do you say cheers in Venetian? Salute?
Salute. Salute, Greg.
This is lovely. So I've got a beautiful fish that's been cooked like this by the Venetians for centuries from a fish market that is 1,000 years old with Prosecco that I didn't realise comes from down the road. This is what they call a good day.
Coming up, I check out Venice's own version of the Sistine Chapel
Come and have a look at this.
and turn my hand to a bit of 14th century mask making.
I'm going to be Greggio Mascheraro.
Venice is a byword for opulence and wealth, and nowhere is that more evident than in the famous square at the heart of the city.
Piazza San Marco. You are fabulous.
I have heard that St Mark's is the perfect place to understand how these islands, settled by refugees back in the 6th century, became so grand and important. So I've arranged a guide to show me around.
Federica, right?
Yes, I
I'm
am.
Greg. Good to meet you. You are my guide.
Yes, I am. Nice to meet
Are
you.
you good at history? Because I need something explaining to me. How did this small island in the north of Italy become so rich, so powerful, and so famous?
Look at this magnificent building. This is one of the most important Roman Catholic churches in the world.
Why is this important? It's beautiful, but why is this important to the story of Venice?
Because here we have the body, the relics of St. Mark.
Who?
St. Mark.
How did Venice get the body of St. Mark?
Look, can you see the first mosaic? They went to Egypt when it was a Muslim country. Venetian took the body of St. Mark and put him inside into that basket, hidden by pork meat. Because Egyptians, they do not like pork because of their religion. You know, you see the reaction they had? They were disgusted. Can you see? They are doing like, ooh.
What am I watching on this chart? Am I watching a robbery?
No, 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 no. We borrowed the body. We didn't
When were you
steal.
thinking of returning it?
Who knows?
I love this story. I love this story. But I'm trying to understand why the Venetians would go to all of that trouble.
Because we would like to give a religious foundation to the new Republic of Venice. They are saying, here we are a big, important state right here in the middle of a lagoon.
That is a big, big statement.
Having the body of a saint catapulted the city into the limelight, with pilgrims travelling miles from all around to be near St Mark's remains. Following this, the Venetians built up their republic into one of the richest and most powerful centres in the world.
What made Venice so big? What was it?
We were very good merchants and traders in the past.
Trading where?
All over the Adriatic and Mediterranean Sea, up to the north of Europe, we were controlling all that trades.
From one small city in the
No.
north of Italy.
No, Greg, no. It was not simply a city. It was a big state. Croatia, Dalmatia, Greek islands, Cyprus and Crete. They were part of the Republic of Venice in the past.
That's not a republic, that's an empire.
Yes, it was.
This square is full of incredible palaces and churches you can visit, but I've chosen to head high and visit the tallest building in the city, the Campanile. It was originally built back in the 12th century to help the Venetians watch who was sailing in and out. This one is a 20th century replacement and the perfect spot to get a bird's eye view.
Oh, come on.
Ah, look, Greg, look how beautiful is this side of the city.
It's beautiful on every side.
It is true. Maybe you know, Greg, that Galileo Galilei came in the bell tower in the same place where we are now.
Is this where Galileo gazed at the stars?
I mean, actually, he was showing his telescope to the government of Venice.
Was he Venetian, Galileo?
No, he was not from Venice, but he worked for the government of Venice.
If he wasn't Venetian, what's he doing working for the Venetian government?
Because, you know, here we had a very open mind. We love exploration, we love stars, we love giving people the possibility to show their free thoughts. And so he was actually saying something against what the church was saying. The sun is in the middle of the universe and the earth is going around. That was a new theory.
But he was a great man.
Sure.
Which
he
is
was.
why Freddie Mercury said Galileo Magnifico.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
I understand completely.
Good.
I'm packing in tons of exploring by foot, but sometimes it's nice to escape the heat of the afternoon sun. And a 20-minute walk from St Mark's Square in the San Polo district is a perfect spot to get indoors and see some of Venice's grandeur.
One of the amazing things about Venice is the amount of fine art. I mean, back in its heyday, there were some seriously rich people here, and the wealthy and the powerful, they loved to be patrons for the great artists of the day. But you know, You don't need to go to a museum or queue up to see some pieces. There is beautiful art here everywhere. Come on. This is the Scuola Grande di San Rocco. Back in the 15th century, it was set up as a lay fraternity. That's a kind of religious club for really, really rich Venetians. It's also home to something rather special. Come and have a look at this.
Every single picture in this room was done by one man, and his name was Tintoretto, one of the finest Venetian artists of the Renaissance period.
It took him 20 years to finish this room, and it is considered as his finest work. It's a bit, I suppose, like Venice's Sistine Chapel, but Tintoretto almost didn't get the job because the people in charge, they asked local artists to send in drawings of their plans, what they planned to do. Tintoretto didn't send in any drawings at all. Do you know what he did? Listen to this. He broke in here at night and he stuck one of his pictures up on the ceiling. And when the people came in the morning, liked the picture, gave him the job. Now, how about that? That's gutsy.
Venice has hundreds of bridges, built in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But here in Dorsoggiuro, I've got a favourite.
Come and have a look at this bridge, because it's not the most beautiful of bridges in Venice, but I think it's got the best story. This is the Ponte di Pugni, and it means the Bridge of Fists, and a story here that goes back to the 14th century. There were lots of different gangs in Venice, okay, and two of the biggest gangs were the guys who worked in the Navy and the fishermen. And every year they would have a massive fist fight on this bridge. Now, it was organised, it could be single combat, or it could be a great big group brawl. And the idea was to knock your opponent out cold and send him into the dirty cold water below. And that happened here every single year. Now, what I find amazing is we think of Venice as a sophisticated city, and nowadays it is, but its roots are most certainly working class. Bridge of Fists, big tear up.
But while some Venetians got their kicks in street brawls, there was a slightly more appealing way of enjoying yourself back in the day. Now, we're all used to wearing masks these days, but in the 12th century, the reason for wearing them was very different. Full face masks were worn as disguises so social classes could mix together and have fun while remaining anonymous. And you can still buy those masks today at places like Kamikana. They'll even let you have a go at making your own with designers like Eloisa.
Okay, Greg, we're gonna start by taking a paintbrush each. We're gonna cover the whole of our mask with blue.
Have I chosen a specific?
You actually have. This mask comes from the Commedia dell'arte, which is the first professional theatre that was born in Europe back in the 1500s. This character is called the Captain.
What sort of character is he? Does he have hair? Is he good looking? Does he like food?
He doesn't have hair. He likes food, though. He's one of those ones. Not too far off from you, actually.
Masks were worn in carnival celebrations up until the 18th century, when Napoleon descended on Venice. The festivities ceased to exist for nearly 200 years, until it was finally brought back in 1979 to revive Venice's heritage.
That is really good.
Thank you. I'm really happy with that. What is a mask maker? What do you call a mask maker in Venice?
Mascheraio.
I'm going to be Greggio Mascheraro.
When masks became hugely popular in the 1400s, mask making became a properly recognised profession in the community.
I do not recognise that machine at all. I have never seen one.
It dries your hair.
I kind of remember, maybe 50 years ago, I saw one.
Okay, well,
So you dry... That's it?
Any touch? Yeah, fantastic. Great.
Finally, we had a few silver details to finish off the mask.
What were people getting up to wearing these masks?
So nothing good, really. They were up to loads of illicit affairs, like political complots. They would assassinate people. No one would know who you were behind it. Loads of really strange stuff that you couldn't do if you were recognizable.
What do you think of my decoration?
Very nice.
It's me! Under here is a bald bloke who likes puddings. Oh, no, la, da, da, la, da, 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 dee. Gonna do something illicit. Coming up, out in Venice's lagoon, I discover that there's no such thing as a free lunch. Come on, fishies, come on! It's my final day in Venice, and I'm doing as the locals do here on the weekend and heading out of the city by boat. Venice is actually at the heart of a giant lagoon. It's 40 miles long. 80% of it are salt marshes and mudflats. It's not just the city of Venice itself, and it's also home to more than 70 islands. And I've heard these islands are a great place to relax. So I'm heading to one now to explore. And you're invited. Islands like glass-blowing Murano or the Lido with its beach are popular. But I've chosen to head 45 minutes across the lagoon to the lesser-known fishing island Burano. Morning fog is not unusual here, but tradition says that all the houses should be painted brightly coloured so that I, like the fishermen, can see where I'm going. This island, this very colourful island, has a particular cuisine. So I've arranged to meet an expert guide, and she's promised to show me an iconic dish from start to finish. Having inhabited the island since the 6th century, natives, including my guide Sylvia, fondly call themselves Buranelli.
Ciao!
You're Sylvia, right?
It's me. Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm happy, but I'm hungry. Are you taking me for lunch?
Of course, we're gonna eat some delicious seafood later. But first, there is a surprise. You know that Burano is an island of fishermen, so we're going out fishing. So we're catching the fish we're gonna eat later.
Really?
Yes, the boat is waiting for us.
Okay, come on, let's
Omar
go.
is on the boat. Let's go.
Andiamo. Whoa! In this part of the lagoon is another island, Torcello, the first island to be settled here, and a powerful trading centre before Venice. With the early settlers, this is what Venice looked like.
Exactly.
Absolutely amazing to think that, like, the Grand Canal, all the beautiful houses, the Doge's Palace, Piazza San Marco, is built on something like that.
Exactly.
Now we can fish, right?
Yes.
What fish do we want?
The go.
Go.
Exactly. It's one of the most important fish we have in the lagoon. When the Buranelli fishermen were putting the nets outside to get bigger fish, they got tons of go. But no one wanted to buy them because they were too skinny. So there was no market for the go. So instead of letting them go, they would cook them on the boat and prepare lunch for the fishermen. The broth made with go is simply delicious.
Right.
But it was invented by chance.
So now it's time to go fishing. Or go fishing, rather.
Perfetto!
Yes!
Bravo!
Except it's not like any kind of fishing I've seen before. We're using poles with nets at the bottom, filling them with bait and shoving them into the mud.
Come on, fishies! Come on!
Waiting for the fish to take the bait gives me some time to appreciate the beauty of this unusual landscape.
I think this is a wonderful day to visit.
It's very charming.
Yeah, I think it shows the uniqueness of the lagoon. It's very atmospheric. Right, should we bring our catch in?
Let's see.
Let's go get the go, shall we?
Let's go.
Go, 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 go! Ah! Hey!
Bravo!
Oh, this is brilliant. There you go, look, I've caught my lunch. With our catch in tow, Sylvia and I return to Burano to make a traditional fish broth risotto di go.
at a local restaurant who supposedly make the best one around.
Hello. Come ti chiami?
Paolo.
Paolo, mio nome è Greg. Boom! Ok, buono risotto.
Bene.
Andiamo. Is this brodo or riso?
Brodo.
Brodo.
Brodo adesso.
So
brodo.
this is making the broth.
Brodo.
And this is everything because rice has no flavour. So the only flavour is the brodo.
Il brodo, sì.
So fritto. So
Soffritto.
that's chopped up vegetables.
Sì, qua come si vede.
Olio.
Olio d'oliva.
Does he know that I caught that fish?
Sai che l'ha preso lui?
L'ha preso lui?
Sì.
Complimenti.
Sì.
Un
Come on.
esperto.
Come on. Okay, we have the brodo.
Sì.
My fish broth. Now we make the risotto with the riso.
Versiamo.
He puts the rice straight into the brodo?
Exactly. This is the difference between Buranello, risotto, and the rest of the world.
Via.
What are you doing? It's like Vesuvio.
The rice is jumping.
Whoa! Me?
Prova. No, al contrario.
Backwards.
Hey! Oh! Oh no!
Così, ok.
Sorry.
Fatto.
No more. Finito. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey! Wonderful.
After all that catching and prepping, it's finally time to eat the fruits of our labour.
Right. After watching that, I am hungry.
Definitely. It's so good, I can't wait to taste it.
So it's not often that I actually catch the food I'm going to have for lunch and then cook it as well.
It's a special day today. Grazie.
Hey. Grazie. Grazie. Right, shall we?
Let's go.
That is stunning.
It's super tasty.
That is absolutely beautiful. There was just a little bit of give in the rice, and that just tastes of the sea. It's got a little bit of acidity, like wine, but it's almost sweet from the sea. That has got so much flavour. Can you see Burano and taste Burano in this?
I can taste it, definitely.
That's lovely. So can I now as well. Actually, I can taste a little bit of me in it. I was out there catching the fish.
Exactly. Well done, Greg.
As I travel back to Venice, it gives me a chance to reflect on my time here before I head to the airport. I've seen a side of Venice that I've never seen before, and it's taught me that it really is possible to enjoy all the sights and splendour on a budget.
I've had a fabulous time here in Venice. You know, I've eaten some great food and there is lots to see and do. But you know, if you go beyond the majestic facades and the romantic canals, there's the other Venice, the Venice of the Venetians. And let me tell you, it is a lot more affordable. And what do I think of the Venetians? Really? I think they're a city of grafters. I mean, they managed to eke out an existence on some marshy islands in the middle of the sea, and they turned it into this, the incredible, beautiful Venice we see today. And more than that, they know how to have a good time.
As UK holidays take off again this summer, we follow two caravan parks as they get ready to welcome us back in brand new Happy Calmers, Sunday at 8. Next tonight, the best way to round off the week, get set to boogie with brand new Britain's favourite 80 songs, 1982.